The Israeli Air Force target leaders of the Islamic Jihad in their homes, while Palestinians respond with rockets in a third consecutive day of bloodshed.
And Belgium and Albania are through, but Iceland is out. The first 10 out of 16 countries have qualified for the Eurovision Grand Final.
This is the moment when an Israeli missile hits the home of a Palestinian Islamic Jihad leader in the Gaza Strip. He is one of 28 Palestinians, some of them civilians, who have been killed since Tuesday in Gaza, which is experiencing its worst escalation of conflict with Israel in many months. On that day, the Israeli army launched Operation Shield and Arrow, bombing Palestinian Islamic Jihad targets. Since then, Palestinian militias, that we can see here in a propaganda video, have suffered heavy losses, but have not stopped firing rockets at Israel. Although the Iron Dome anti-missile system has shot down hundreds, and many have hit Israeli territory. This Thursday, the first death of an Israeli citizen was confirmed after being wounded in one of these attacks. Appeals for calm and attempts at mediation by the international community have fallen on deaf ears. The UN says it is alarmed by the escalation of violence that has already left more than 130 people dead so far this year, the overwhelming majority of them Palestinians.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky is keeping the launch date of his widely anticipated counter-offensive a mystery. In a televised interview, Zelensky said his troops need more time as armoured equipment has yet to arrive. He stressed a lot of lives would be lost if the defence launched a counter-attack now. Nevertheless, it will be a, quote, unpleasant surprise for the Russians.
Я не готовий з вами комунікувати дати, коли ми будемо наступати, тому що, я думаю, ви мене розумієте, тому що це тою чи іншою мірою готує ворога, і тому я би хотів, щоб це було неприємним для нього сюрпризом, а не навпаки.
In the interim, Ukraine's army has maintained its positions around the city of Bakhmut, the epicenter of fighting on the Eastern Front. Zelensky's forces claim to have pushed Russian soldiers back some 2 kilometers. This after the head of the Wagner mercenary group, Yevgeny Prigozhin, accused a Russian military unit near Bakhmut of abandoning its positions, leaving 500 casualties behind.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker.
London has broken one of the taboos of Western aid to Ukraine. The British government announced it will send long-range missiles that can be launched by Ukrainian pilots up to 250 kilometres from their targets.
In a calibrated and determined manner. Today I can confirm that the UK is donating Storm Shadow missiles to Ukraine. Storm Shadow is a long-range, conventional-only precision strike capability. The donation of these weapon systems gives Ukraine the best chance to defend themselves against Russia's continued brutality, especially the deliberate targeting of Ukrainian civilian infrastructure, which is against international law. Ukraine has a right to be able to defend itself against this.
In Moscow, Vladimir Putin's spokesman poured scorn on the British announcement, saying an appropriate response would be made.
Это потребует адекватного ответа и от наших военных, которые, естественно, с военной точки зрения будут принимать соответствующие решения на этом фоне.
Ukrainian pilots will be able to release Storm Shadows, jointly developed by the UK and France, from a safe distance, much further away than the 80-kilometre range of American HIMARS land-based rockets.
Turkish presidential candidate Muharrem İnce says he's pulling out of Sunday's presidential election. Polling at around 2%, İnce said he didn't want to be responsible for splitting the opposition vote.
Adaylıktan çekiliyorum. Bunu memleketim için yapıyorum.
The leader of the centre-left Homeland Party, İnce, was one of 4 contenders running for president against incumbent Recep Tayyip Erdogan. İnce had faced heavy criticism for pulling crucial votes away from the 6-party Nation alliance that has united behind opposition leader Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu. Polls have given Kılıçdaroğlu a slight lead over Erdogan, although neither candidate was expected to gain more than 50% of the vote and win the election outright. Now Erdogan's opponents hope İnce's withdrawal could tip the balance in their favour.
Pakistan's Supreme Court has ruled the arrest of opposition leader Imran Khan illegal in a fresh twist to a political drama that unleashed a wave of violence across the country. The nation's top judge said Khan's detention on Tuesday, as he attended a separate hearing, was contempt of court. Khan remains Pakistan's most popular political figure, and his supporters vented their anger in several cities after his arrest, targeting government buildings and police headquarters. At least 10 people were killed in the unrest and many more injured, either in attacks by Khan's followers or through the actions of security forces. With the country gripped by political tension, the Supreme Court urged Khan to appeal to his supporters to remain peaceful. He is due to reappear on corruption charges in Islamabad's High Court on Friday. At least one person has been injured after a van transporting oxygen cylinders exploded in the centre of Milan. Fire engulfed several other vehicles and spread to nearby buildings, forcing the evacuation of a school and apartments. Euronews reporter Alessio Delana was at the scene as firefighters tackled the blaze.
The explosion originated from a van. The engine of the van caught fire and then detonated around 20 oxygen cylinders that were on the van. There have been several buildings and vehicles engulfed in flames. So far, there's one person injured. It's the driver of the van who, according to local reports, managed to get out of the vehicle just moments before the explosion broke out. The fire has now been almost completely put out and the area is cordoned off.
The fire broke out in the Porta Romana area, located in the southeast of the city centre. Police have launched an investigation, but the cause of the original fire wasn't immediately known.
10 months after alerting the world to the spread of monkeypox, the WHO says the danger has passed.
Yesterday, the Emergency Committee for Mpox met and recommended to me that the multi-country outbreak of Mpox no longer represents a public health emergency of international concern. I have accepted that advice.
Originating in Central and West Africa, the viral disease has spread to 111 countries, with more than 87,000 cases and 140 deaths recorded.
Almost 500,000 young people in Greece have the right to vote for the first time. This generation differs in many ways from previous ones, but also inherits the difficulties left behind by a decade of financial crisis and the coronavirus pandemic. Analysts believe the youth vote could significantly influence the results of the May 21st election.
440.000 παιδιά, δηλαδή μισό εκατομμύριο πολίτες, είναι εγγεγραμμένοι στους εκλογικούς καταλόγους. Σε αυτές τις εθνικές εκλογές καλούνται να ψηφίσουν για πρώτη φορά.
Polls currently show a small lead for the centre-right over the left-wing bloc, but what do young people think?
Πρώτη φορά φέτος θα ψηφίσω. Συζητάμε και με τους γονείς, πού θα επιλέξουμε, τι θα κάνουμε, τι μας συμφέρει, τι δεν μας συμφέρει.
Με κριτήριο ποιο κόμμα θα έχει καλύτερο πρόγραμμα στην οικονομία και στην παιδεία. Που είναι από τα βασικά πράγματα για τα οποία πρέπει όλοι να ψηφίζουμε και για τα οποία πρέπει να αγωνιζόμαστε βασικά αυτό.
Θα ψηφίσω με δικό μου κριτήριο και έχοντας ψάξει χρόνια και έχοντας κάνει σκέψεις. Έχει ξεκινήσει ήδη η χώρα να έχει μια ανάκαμψη. Θέλουμε να συνεχίσει και θα κάνουμε, πιστεύω ότι γενικότερα οι νέοι πρέπει να συμμετάσχουν σε αυτές τις εκλογές, διότι είναι το μέλλον της χώρας. Πρέπει το μέλλον αυτό να το έχουν, να πάρουν την κατάσταση στα χέρια τους.
Πρώτη φορά φέτος θα ψηφίσω για το συμφέρον της χώρας. Πιστεύω ότι αυτή τη στιγμή η χώρα έχει δείξει μια τεράστια ανάκαμψη επί Νέα Δημοκρατία. Παρ' όλα αυτά, το συμφέρον αυτή τη στιγμή θεωρώ ότι είναι να έχει σταθερή κυβέρνηση. Δεν έχει να κάνει με τα προσωπικά κριτήρια αυτό και ότι θα ψηφίσω και αυτά. Είναι όμως πιστεύω το ιδανικό για τη χώρα.
Ναι, θα ψηφίσω εθνικές εκλογές. Δεν ξέρω με την κριτήρια ακόμα, γιατί δεν έχω ενημερωθεί και τόσο πολύ γενικά.
Η ψήφος των νέων θεωρείται ως η πιο αχαρτογράφητη για τα πολιτικά κόμματα. Γι' αυτό και οι πολιτικές παρατάξεις επιδιώκουν μέσω των social media και νεανικών εκφράσεων να τους προσελκύσουν. Από την Αθήνα για το Euronews, Γιώργος Δημητρόπουλος.
Let the Eurovision Song Contest second semi-final begin!
The stage is now set for the grand final of the Eurovision Song Contest in Liverpool on Saturday. Thursday night saw Armenia, Estonia, Belgium, Cyprus, Poland, Slovenia, Austria, Albania, Lithuania and Australia earn their place alongside the 10 winners of the first semi-final.
Absolutely loved it. Everyone did a great job, but Australia, obviously close to my heart, so they did a fantastic job.
The 20 acts which have qualified in the semi-finals will also be joined by last year's winners Ukraine and the Big Five. The Big Five are the main funders of the competition: France, UK, Spain, Germany and Italy, who automatically qualify for the final. And the big question is, who is going to win this year's Eurovision Song Contest?
Moldova, definitely Moldova. I love like the show and I love the music. It's very different. Yeah, my style.
I'm definitely cheering for Finland. I think Finland has really good chances of winning.
We are supporting Ukraine because we wanted to see Eurovision in Ukraine, because that would mean that the war is over, and that would be amazing.
That's the meaning.